Deputy Clare Daly.
Much, Ceann Comhairle. I'm very glad to be here to participate in the discussion. The comments that I will make have been prepared for me by the excellent Emma Smith, a young transition year student who we've had the pleasure actually of working in our offices with us over the past number of weeks. And she makes the point that in discussing this, we have to start really by recognising that CAMHS has been a vital source of aid for young people who struggle with a form of mental illness, a learning difficulty, a speech issue and so on, but not only to the young people themselves, but also to their families. It's absolutely vital, and I think the level of interest in the debate today shows that, because we have to see it in the context that thanks to years of austerity, it has been chronically underperforming, and it's the young people and their families who are being put under an unbearable strain as a result of that situation. The numbers of people on waiting lists are absolutely scandalous. As of September 2018, we know 1,369 young people had been on the list for over 3 months, 470 more than 6 months, 241 for 9 months, 222 over a year, and so on. In my own area, 46 vulnerable young people left for a period of over 6 months for an appointment. It's absolutely incredible and a cause for extreme concern. 6 months is far too long to leave a young person to suffer, particularly because they're at a crucial stage of their development, and any delay can and actually will have lifelong consequences for them. Not only that, but services in such catastrophic disarray were putting young people at serious risk. And, you know, it has been said 70 children under the age of 16 years died in Ireland by suicide last year. It's absolutely devastating, and we as a Parliament have to say, how can we stand by and allow this to happen? And, you know, waiting lists are inevitable when staff numbers have been dropping relentlessly. The recommended number of full-time staff, we're only operating at roughly half of what's needed. And we have to be honest about this. The staff numbers in CAMHS are down for the same reason as they're down in the Defence Forces, for the same reason they're down in nursing, because there's a recruitment and retention crisis, because for years of cuts have resulted in staff being seriously overworked, and overworked staff who've been kicked around by successive governments for years don't tend to stick around if they can get out at all, and unfortunately that's the situation that we're in. The government tells us we're out of the austerity woods, but are failing to recognise the importance of the scars that have been left right across our public service, and in this case it's vulnerable children. We know many regions around the country have next to no professionals. There's only 84 working to provide assessments and treatments to the entirety of Laois, Offaly, Longford, Westmeath and Louth. Worse again, only 49 in Carlow, Kilkenny, Waterford, Wexford and South Tipperary. For a population of nearly 500,000 people, the chronic understaffing has meant that children are being inappropriately admitted into adult mental health inpatient units. The fact that there were 82 admissions in 2017 is utterly shocking, and I can't imagine how devastating it must be for a child to experience something like that, particularly a sick and vulnerable child. We know worse again that the low levels of staff or inadequately trained staff in inpatient units means that seclusion and physical restraint are actually becoming normalised, which is an horrific prospect. Really what we're saying is that our children suffering from a mental illness are getting no better treatment than the Victorian asylums that used to operate in the past. I think for those children who are treated by CAMHS, care plans individually formulated to suit the patient are time and again overlooked, despite the fact that all the evidence shows that these plans are actually the cornerstone of a successful recovery. So we need to address these shortfalls, or an entire generation who so desperately require help and guidelines are going to be left behind. I think it's really important that we recognise that it's not about quantity over quality, quality. Pressure on staff to get people through the system has become immense. A stress on numbers turns cases into quotas. It's no longer about helping a child adequately, but instead it becomes about doing as little as possible for as many as possible. That's not a solution. This is the institutionalisation of improper care, and if CAMHS isn't solved, it'll go down, I think, as one of our country's biggest failures.
Thank you.